Hey guys, my name's Artie. I want to welcome you to this channel. This will be the first in a series of climbing the California 14ers, starting with the northernmost, which is also the only active volcano on the list. I'm currently on the way to Mt Shasta. I'm going to the Mt Shasta Ranger Station to pick up a climbing permit for tomorrow. Got about 3 hours left on the drive, 40% of the way there. Let us get it. I just got to the ranger station with 26 minutes to spare before they close. I got the permit. The permit is $25 and that's good for 7 days. Or you can pay $30 and it'll last a year. So I'd take the year pass. Got some pasta and chicken. I'm gonna be taking the Avalanche Gulch route. You can actually see it right there. To the left of that pole and going up and then to the left to Misery Hill. After picking up some dihydrogen monoxide and using the restroom, it was time to head to Bunny Flat and get some rest. Sitting at 6,950 feet, this is the main trailhead for the Castle Ridge, Avalanche Gulch, and Green Butte route. I'm gonna set up my backpack, try to get some more carbs in, and then set off in the morning. So I started about maybe 20 minutes ago. It's 2 a.m. now. Got a long way to go. Before the sun began to rise, the moonlight allowed me to get past the tree line with my headlamp off. After strapping into my crampons, I began up the steeper slopes toward Helen Lake. Somewhere around 9,500 feet, I set my gloves down to drink water and a gust of wind blew them away. After no luck looking around, it was clear that there was no choice but to turn back. On the way down, I met Steve from Portland. He was on his way up and much to my surprise, he had one of my gloves. And what made this moment even more amazing was that just to the side of where we met laid my other glove. Thanks to him, I had a second chance to make it to the summit. Steve continued on. I took a long break to absorb it all and followed far behind. At this point, it was 8 a.m. and the elevation about 10,400 feet. With the sun coming over the ridge, everything became much more illuminated. The path to Red Banks was straight ahead with a slight right, another 2,400 feet of elevation gain. The mound of snow behind me is called Helen Lake. It's a semi-flat area that's often used as a high camp and can be considered the halfway point to the summit. Though it can get packed in the summer, no one was there on this day. Since the trailhead, the surface has been a hard layer of compacted snow. At this angle, many chunks of ice made their way down, as if rolling on a slope of concrete. The section from Helen Lake to the top of Red Banks may be the most strenuous part of the route. After 4 hours, I arrived at 12,800 feet. Here, you get a stunning view of the southeast side of Mt Shasta, as well as your first peek at the true summit, which looks like it's lower than the top of Misery Hill. This is because it's another quarter-mile away. As I leveled with the Castle Ridge on Misery Hill, I began to feel the full velocity of the wind coming from the west. Having the snowboard sideways on my back, I walked with my upper body turned to deflect as much wind as possible. It reminded me of being in an airplane crabbing into a crosswind. The strange ice formations that began near Misery Hill only lightly coated the surface, but the base of the summit was completely covered with this brittle, diagonal pointing ice. The last stretch seemed endless, and I couldn't believe when I was finally reaching the summit. The 12-hour ascent was finally coming to an end. Though it was my 4th time being up here, it felt like a whole different mountain this time around. I could see Steve far ahead for most of the trip, so I looked forward to meeting him again at the finish line. After exchanging a few words, I took the short walk to 14,179 feet. As you can tell, the focus was forever forgotten.